And welcome into NBC World Series Live. It's been a couple days since we last spoke with you. We'll get into all of that, but we are live here at Riverfront Stadium in downtown Wichita, Kansas. Very exciting to finally get to come to this facility, the home of the Wichita Wind Surge in the AA Central. It's going to be really cool to see how the next couple of days go here at a beautiful ballpark, but we cannot turn the page to this until we recap what's happened in the last couple of days. We have not been able to join you. We'll recap some of that. Starting on Saturday, we spoke with you right before the final game. During that final game, we had some rain rolling.
Oh, yeah.
And there were some issues getting the tarp onto the field. We had most of our staff members and some great help from the 316 Sluggers team come out. And we were facing 55, 60 mile-an-hour winds at that time. Could not get the tarp over the field. Ended up calling the game for the night. They continued that game on Sunday morning. They had to shift game times a lot. One, because of the rain. Two, because we had to fill in that game. At 10 a.m. at Westside Athletic Field here in Wichita, they concluded that game. That's where Santa Barbara won that one. Then at noon at the Westside Stadium, Derby played the Midcrest Pumas. Derby came out on top of that one. Then they had Seattle in the next game. I forget who Seattle played. It's
been a lot of times since then.
But they won that game at 3 p.m. Then they had a final game at 6 p.m., which featured the Sluggers, who had played that morning, having to come play for their tournament lives against Great Bend.
Right.
Great Bend came out on top. So it set us up for today, where we had two winners bracket games. First between the Santa Barbara Foresters and Hayes Larks, then between the Cheney Diamond Dogs and the Lone Star Baseball Club. It also sets us up for tomorrow for two games in the losers bracket. First, we need to dig into some of what happened tonight. I'll make sure I introduce everything first. Andrew Burgos, Matthew Will, we're here live at the 87th NBC World Series, powered by Evergy. In our game one tonight, our 6 p.m. feature game, Santa Barbara and Hayes. This is a Hayes team that the couple of people here that have watched games pretty hard throughout this tournament and really analyzed some of these teams thought Hayes was one of the teams that could give Santa Barbara troubles, and give them troubles is exactly what they did.
I agree. It was super fun to watch this game. If I'm correct, Hayes is still looking for their first NBC tournament win. Is that correct?
Hayes?
Yeah, I don't know. I could be
wrong.
No,
they were 2-0 entering the game.
Okay, so that is it's super interesting to see Hayes battle it out. And it was a great game to watch. It was back and forth, but unfortunately at the end, Hayes just couldn't get it done.
And it was one that Hayes had some solid starting pitching and really got to Santa Barbara's starting pitching. They made sure that every error the Foresters had, they were striking on, and that's going to be the key to beating them this week, is you've got to make sure you make them pay for their mistakes.
Yes.
And that's what Hayes was able to do.
Yeah, Santa Barbara got on their horse just like an equestrian and rode their way to the finish line, and they ended that game.
So we turned the page from that game to our late game. Some people thought this was going to turn out to be a back-and-forth game. I thought beforehand that I thought Lone Star was really going to run this one, especially with Nathan Medrano back on the pitcher's mound. He pitched unreal last week, had a 7-inning outing where he struck out 6, only walked 1, didn't allow any runs in that outing. That was en route to their first win of this tournament. He comes out today and throws 8 solid no-hit innings. I believe he had 1 walk. It was a hit by pitch. And other than that, he was perfect on the mound today for a Cheney team that just had lukewarm bats.
Yeah, Cheney just couldn't get the job done tonight, unfortunately, and they need to get it going in this loser bracket. This whole bracket for the rest of the time on is super tough, whether you're in the winner or loser, so it'll be really interesting to see what happens.
So with our final results today, it sets up some interesting matchups in the losers bracket, some that will be directly affected by tomorrow's games. So our first game tomorrow is between Derby and Seattle. In that one, the winner of that game will get to face these Cheney Diamond Dogs. And then in our second game of tomorrow, it will feature Great Bend, who has come out and played extremely good baseball, I think, has found a way to win night in and night out and earn themselves another shot going through this tournament. And they're going to get, if they can win their game, they're going to get a look at a pretty good Hayes team. And I think Hayes is going to kind of end up being the paper cut of this whole tournament. they're going to be hard to ignore night in and night out.
Yeah, Hayes is not letting their tournament dreams go down the toilet yet, so it should be really interesting to see how Hayes continues in the loser bracket. I think they're a really good team. Their coach is an amazing coach. Their team is very, very tight. They are always energetic in the dugout, which I always love to see. So I think they'll continue to ride in this losers bracket.
If you got to watch both games today, I do believe that we saw the three best teams in this tournament play. Santa Barbara, Hayes, and Lone Star are going to be very hard teams to beat down the line. That Hayes team just met the one team that I think is able to beat them. They're going to be someone you have to worry about in that losers bracket. It sets up an amazing Thursday night game between Santa Barbara and Lone Star. How excited are you for that one?
I cannot wait for this game. Two top-notch NBC teams going at it here at Riverfront Stadium. What a beautiful stadium, and let me tell you, it's going to be a great baseball game. So if you're in the area, come out and watch the game.
So with that, it means that both of those teams have made the Final Four of this year's NBC World Series. It is the first time in Lone Star baseball history they've made the NBC Final Four. Huge moment for those guys.
It's about time. Lone Star's a great team. They're on and off every time here at the NBC World Series, but they're always competitive, so super excited to see Lone Star make that Final Four.
They're a great academy located out of Austin, Texas. They have 5 or 6 different high school teams around the area. Lots of youth teams around the area. They're kind of like, if you're familiar with the Wichita systems, they're kind of like a 316 elite sort of academy, and they've produced some really good baseball players here in the past couple of years. They had a kind of a tough year 2 years ago in the series, but 3 and 4 years ago played really good ball, and I think this is a Lone Star team that really has what it takes to, if not win the whole thing, at least make the championship game.
Yeah, we've talked to a lot of people, and they think Lone Star is a very, very dangerous team this year in the World Series. And if you just watch them play, they're here to win. They're not messing around. And it's super excited to see that happen. I think Lone Star has a big chance of being in the championship game this year.
So like we mentioned, we are here at Riverfront Stadium. It does mean there are some technological issues that we're going to bounce with here and there. We will try to bring you a pregame show tomorrow. Just keep a lookout on our YouTube page here, and if we can get it all worked out, we will be live here within an hour before game time. It might get pushed up from our usual 20 minutes before, but we'll try to give you something, and for sure we will join you after tomorrow's action to recap the day and let you know what to expect as we go down the championship week.
For sure. This has been a blast to do these post-game shows and pre-game shows. It's been one of my favorite part of the World Series, so I can't wait to continue that on and keep it going.
Before we close this out, we do owe another huge thank you to the Hutchinson grounds crew out there. They worked tirelessly to make sure we could have at least one game there at the stadium yesterday.
Yeah.
That Hutch game last night, which ended up being a very exciting game. They worked all day to make sure that field was playable. There were puddles 3 inches deep when we got there Sunday morning, and we played baseball in that field. A huge thank you to them. And now we flip over to this beautiful park, and a huge thank you to the grounds crew working here.
Yeah.
They were here all day making sure this field was ready to play, and I'm sure they'll be here for a couple hours tonight making sure we're ready to go tomorrow.
Yeah, one big comment about Hutch. We had the pleasure to go out there and try to help with that rain tarp when it came out, and it was crazy, to say the least. Everyone was coming out there. We had a bunch of the sluggers coming out there trying to help. And just to see, after they realized that they couldn't get the tarp on the field, the drive for them to make sure they could play that at least 7 o'clock game yesterday was amazing. It was super cool to see. So thankful for the city of Hutch Rec, everyone out there. You guys hosted the NBC World Series. Such an amazing job. Thank you for that. And also that grounds crew, you guys will never be forgotten because that was amazing what you did. They were pumping water out at 2:30 in the morning. They went home for a few hours, got there I think around 7 or 6, and just continued to make sure that field was good.
It's not just from Andrew and I. It's from the entire NBC staff and fan base that we thank you, Hutchinson ground crew. We would not have been able to do anything all week without your hard work. I got to the stadium about 7:30 every morning, and they beat me there every single day.
Right.
They worked all day to make sure that place was ready to play, and it is a gorgeous ballpark now, and it will be for a few years.
Yeah, they've continued to actually grow on Hobart Detter Field. They're getting new equipment, new stuff to make it even better. And, that rain tarp is definitely a big plus for them so they can cover it up. But they're amazing. The whole facility, the way they mow the lawn to make sure the lines look pretty, the way they handle their infield, their mound, it's amazing to see them work.
So we are approaching the final minutes of Monday nights. We're going to get out of your airwaves for a little while and let you get to bed, and hopefully you'll join us tomorrow, whether you're in person here at Riverfront Stadium or we'll be right here on the NBC World Series YouTube page. For Andrew Burgos, I'm Matthew Will. Thanks for joining us on another edition of NBC Live here at the 87th NBC World Series, powered by Evergy.